Hey everyone, it's Amador. I am in a swap. It's a Shabby Chic altered Balsa box swap that staplem1 Markisha is hosting for her birthday, and my partner is Betty, and she is Scrap Passion 01. I will link all of their videos, all of their channels to the comments on the video. But we were to take this in a Shabby Chic style, alter this huge Balsa box that Hobby Lobby carries now. And the funny thing is, I didn't want to do it at first because you guys have never seen me show a decorated Balsa box because I always tend to break them because they're so fragile, or maybe I'm just a brute. I don't know. So anyway, I was going to use another box, but then I said, you know what? I'm going to challenge myself. The past few projects that I've actually done, there's been something to challenge myself. So I wanted to challenge myself. I used the Prima Lyric collection for the most part, except for a few embellishments. And so I will show you. Betty, I hope you like what I made. And we also had to make some embellishments to go inside. So anyhow, I used the Prima Lyric collection, and I used some of the 12x12 and the A4 stack. So let me show you what it looks like. Let me move this out of the way. And this is the top of the Balsa box. It's huge. Like seriously, it is about 10 1/4 by about 6 3/4 inches. So that's a pretty big Balsa box. This is the front, if you guys can see. It's really weird to film, so we're gonna try to work through this here. So I used one of the large papers that had that square design. It's blank in the middle because I wanted to alter it and decorate it. And let me see here. I took off the I covered the holes that had the elastic twine or whatever, and took off the little knob, and I used one of those metal Graphic 45 butterflies, which let me see if it's focusing, which I actually gesso painted, and then I stamped with a script stamp, and then I took with the Stays-On ink, brown Stays-On ink, and then I also distressed the edges of the butterfly, which I just took the pad and I swapped it over. Put one of these little cameos and cut up some of this little lace to give it like little feelers for the butterfly, so that way it looks like a little butterfly. Some of these I got from from my haul that I just got from DK Crafts. So there is that. And this is just some elastic trim that I bought a long time ago when I went to LA with some of my friends. And the side here has this paper on both sides. On the top it has, like I said, this one that has the full square design with all these beautiful print with the flowers. On the bottom, hopefully I don't like shake everything out. On the bottom it has the music sheet with the roses print on it. So it's actually filled right now. Let's hope I don't mess it up. This is from one of the excuse me, from one of the papers. I cut out the bird cage and then I 3D'd the little bird on top. I layered it. I first layered one of those cards, the note cards from Graphic 45. I never got the lyric ones. I don't even know if they had any. So I used some, I think it was from Nature Garden. I covered it all up anyway. And I wanted to use some of these beautiful I Am Roses that, not I Am Rose, pardon, Wild Orchid Craft flowers, because they matched well with the colors of this, of the ones in the print, with this peachy kind of pink flowers. Afterwards, I also layered a lot. It's pretty thick there. It's quite layered. I layered a lot of lace from my stash and some of these large pearls. These pearls I get from Hobby Lobby. They're usually for the Christmas stuff. They have them in the Christmas sprays, and I buy them and also always buy extras when they go on sale for Christmas because they come on those little stems and it has this little pick so you can put them everywhere. And just unlike a regular pearl that you would use, you don't have to worry about hiding the holes for it or anything like that. I tend to put glue on these here, and then they come in a little bunch, and then there's also a spray of these smaller ones which you'll see throughout my project here. So anyhow, this little die cut is from a K & Company or a color box or something like that. It's just some ephemera pack that I had in my stash. I did stamp it though with this little wonderful right here from the stamp set, and I used some of these flowers from that came out with the collection, these peachy coconut flowers. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, these flowers suck. Yeah, someone should really tell Prima either not to make these or make them better. All of these petals always fall off, so I spent more time yet again, but I really wanted to use them, gluing the petals. I had to glue the petals to the actual project because they kept falling off the little wire. So, anyway, enough of that rant. This is one of these crystals that I get also from Hobby Lobby, and it has a little metal filigree base right here. Am I even in frame? Yes. And they're super awesome, very neat, very clean, as you can see. And they come in a pack. They have them right now during the holidays, and I always get some along with the pearls to use throughout the year. A little glue strands here. So here is one of those large pearls, and a lot of these are, like I said, roses. Sorry, wild orchid flowers. Some of these are from LA. But for the most part, they're from wild orchid flowers. This is an roses gardenia. It was actually pink and cream. I spray painted it with this peach spray that I made with just some looks like orange juice, with some of my re-inkers. So, and you'll see the lace that goes throughout, and this large pearl right here. There's just a massive cluster of flowers, and I just really liked how this shows that way. Here's a little close-up on the little bird. And like I said, this is from the sheet. This is from one of the A4 size sheets. I used it on something I'll show you, and I kept this part so I could cut it out. So here's some more of my flowers right here. Some whites, some pinks. I didn't want to just make them pink, and I know I use a lot of pink on them. And this is underneath that section right there. I didn't want to just make it pink, so I wanted to use the peaches and the corals, and totally love it. Totally. I was really afraid, like I said. Luckily I didn't break the box. Usually it's the lid that I end up breaking from these balsa boxes. So anyhow, let me go ahead and show you what's inside. So as you guys know, the lids from the balsa boxes are very flimsy, but this one I covered with paper and Mod Podge many times to kind of make it as thick as I possibly could. But I wanted the inside to look like a vintage, elegant vanity that had little things inside for, you know, obviously for, you know, beauty or whatever, but these are for crafts. So as it opens up, this is what I did. So this is the top. Now this image is from the Graphics Fairy. I saw it and I really wanted to use it on something. You guys know how much I love the Graphics Fairy. I'll also leave that link to the website on the description. Totally love it. So one of the papers, it had this burlap print paper, so I used that. I cut it out to kind of follow the shape of the lid. And it took me forever of bending this, and I think at one point I broke it, but bending it and flexing it so it actually works and stays open, not just stays flimsy. So anyhow, so I took this print, this beautiful vintage print, and I also made smaller labels. I printed that out, and Betty can put her name or whatever, Betty Shop, whatever she wants, or if Betty, you can even use this as a gift to put other stuff and re-gift it to somebody and put their name or something like that there. So this is the inside. The burlap paper actually goes through the entire inside, and these are the embellishments that I made. We were supposed to make 4. I got a little carried away. I don't know how many I made at the end, but I wanted, like I said, I wanted it to look like a little vanity set, so you could take stuff out, and kind of all goes with this label with the Primo Lyric collection. So these little jars came from Hobby Lobby, and you guys have probably already seen them. I made the label. I distressed everything, by the way. Everything has been completely distressed with a walnut stain. So in here there's just some bling, some beads. These are these little metal frame beads. You can use them for pins or anything like that. And put pictures, but they also have the holes, along with little Scrabble tiles that spell out Betty. This I dug into my stash of vintage buttons that I've gotten from my vintage hauls, and I put lots of them in here. I love these white, what are these, buttons with the shell or whatever, depending on what they are. This one also has, I didn't label anything, so she could use her handwriting. My handwriting really doesn't appeal to many people, so hey, why not? Why not have them do it? And this one has some vintage buttons, also vintage style buttons of all sorts from my stash, from my collection. Some of these I got in LA, some of these I've bought throughout, you know, my little hauls or whatever. So this is a little pillow box. I use the Tim Holtz pillow box die, and it's one of the for the movers and shapers, you can cut out a different shape. So I got to put this little window here. I tried to make them out of acetate, but they just weren't working out. So this is a little pillow box full of pink, white, and cream cherry blossoms that I made myself. I followed a tutorial here on YouTube. I completely forgot who it was by right now, but I will put it in the description. I'm trying not to mess this up, and also put a link to her video. They're very easy to make, and they're absolutely beautiful. I used stamens. At that point, I didn't have access to large orders of stamens. These are from like Michael's or Joann's from their baking section for when they use the icing flowers or whatever. So this one I'll show in a second. It'll make more sense in a minute. These little boxes I've had, these little clear acetate boxes I've had for a while, but I wanted to use them. Like I said, I'm trying to use some of the stuff I have. And the little label up here as well. So I made some of these Vicky / Gisela / Amador flowers, whatever. So each one of them has 2, and they're crazy fluffy. Like, look at that. This has, like, Vicky did the ones with the rosettes, and then Gisela did one with the laces. And she cut them very close, but I like to leave it out. I folded it and rounded it off so they look like more like actual petals. And this is what my little 2 cents that I've added. I ordered some of this light mint rosette trim from Lavish Laces, along with the ones from here, to make little leaves. So I haven't seen any that have the leaves, so I wanted to make little leaves. And this is just some pearl bling. Look how crazy fluffy it is. So anyway, that's that one. And this one is with white rosettes and pink lace that she actually gifted me with one of the orders. See how fluffy it is? It almost covers up the cameo. And this is the same cameo that's on the butterfly on the closure of the box. So see how fluffy? You can actually make it fluffier or flatter. And I used some of these pearlescent white leaves, also from her shop. So those are right. That one's that. I made 4 of these. Like I said, I might have gotten a little carried away. And also in this little box. It all fits snugly in here. I might have to put a little bit of tissue paper to fill it up. But here is this one. This one's pink and cream. This is some beautiful pearl bling that I got from D. And you guys might have seen my previous haul. Once again, put one of these little rosette leaves on here. But I like how when I fold it and I trimmed the lace in a little curve pattern to make them more like petals. So you can kind of see crazy luscious. And I like how the cream and the pink show off on this one. So my last one is this white one. And this one is thicker and fluffier than all of them. This one has white rosette trims and white lace. The cool thing with these is I only used 5 rosettes for each flower, and you can use laces from your stash or even your bits and pieces that are left. So, and this is one of these very vintage looking blings, and I also put one of the little green leaves on. And this is when I asked her like what embellishment she liked or whatever. She said, she's like, well, if, she would want some of my little hangers, and I totally had some. And they coordinated. This is the burlap paper that's on the base of the box. So you kind of can't see. Sorry for the glare. There's acetate. I ran acetate through here to hold them, so it looks like they're placed in there. Now it looks like they're just snugly in there. No, it took me forever to tack them down to make them look presentable. So I have these bags, these clear plastic bags that I ordered a while ago. I like these because I got them from Clear Bags, I think, or Cello Bags on Etsy. I'm not sure. The cool thing, it's these that have the tab, and it's pretty sturdy for you to be able. I like to feel when I buy stuff that maybe come in a pack or comes in a pack or something that tears, or some of this packaging is crap. I like to have these so I can keep them on all of my pegboards and everything to have my supplies on hand. So this way you can keep them like this, or better, you can hang them from whatever. So all of the little packages that I'm about to show you, they all have these little things, but it folds underneath so you can't even tell. So the back is just plain, and I didn't do much to the paper, so you can reuse it as a tag or anything like that. So anyhow, this is my second little pack of, and all these papers are the Prima Lyric. These are molds. These are paper clay things that I made from some of the Martha Stewart molds and some of the molds I already have. You guys might recognize some of these shapes. There's a butterfly, strawberry, the rose cameo, these cute little bows, and this rose. I think this one I made a mold from some resin piece that I got somewhere. I don't know. But there's that set. Now this set is these are some paper flowers that I've used, some vintage book paper, some of those vintage print bags, and some metal brads, and this is burlap. Folded and they're kind of crimped. They will keep a shape, but I put some wood buttons and some lace, and this little pillow box actually has the coordinating leaves. This is muslin, and it's got stamped script. These are some of the burlap leaves. Some of them are flat, some of them are already crimped, so you can use them and textured. I took some stain or some of the ink and just stained that one green, so just for kicks. So that way when Betty, when you use the flowers, if you use them and everything, you can have leaves. So those are the ones. Oh, by the way, thanks again, Markisha, for letting me participate and for being part of the swap. Betty, thanks again for being my partner, and I'll see everybody. Bye.